What is up, folks? NYKF31 here, bringing you a Madden 16 MUT salary cap ranked games. I scrolled through and show you this little setup here, run and shoot offense, and this is an older game, so I think I'm still in the Denver Broncos 3-4 playbook here. I recently turned the team over into a 4-3. Yeah, I still have Clowney and Barr there, so it's definitely a 3-4. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite defensive playbooks of this past Madden year, Madden 16, my top five. I did my top five offensive playbooks about a month ago. This time we're going to do the defense. We'll start with a couple of honorable mentions. Denver Broncos 3-4 playbook didn't quite make the cut in my top five. It's a pretty good 3-4 playbook, one of my favorite ones. There's only really a couple that I actually like. I don't like the 3-4 in Madden in general, and I don't like 3-4s with a lot of overly exotic sub packages because I tend to forget who's on the field where. So I don't like sets like 155, 155 prowl, and stuff like that. And that eliminates stuff like the Jets, the Cardinals, those type of 3-4 playbooks, the Bills, playbooks in that kind of mold. I like 3-4 playbooks that are a little bit more simple to navigate as far as sub packages go, that have enough wrinkles to throw some unique looks at your opponent. And the Broncos playbook does that. The reason why it doesn't quite make my top five is because my fifth favorite defensive playbook of this year, the Ravens, I think I like a little bit better. And it's because I have a couple of sets in that playbook, or you have a couple of sets in that playbook that give you 4-3 looks. The 3-4 over Ed, which gives you a 4-3 stack alignment, as well as a 3-4 Predator, which gives you more of a 4-3 under look. But outside of those two differences, they're pretty similar and give you some pretty good, sub package versatility. You have the 3-4 Bear in the Ravens playbook, which is a very good 3-4 set, which gives you a cover 2 invert and some nice toss patrol protection. And you also have the 2-3-6 Big Dime and 2-3-6 Will Big Dime. The difference between the two is in the name. In the 2-3-6 Will, it puts your weak side backer in places where you can either blitz him, drop him back into coverage, and do some nice things with him. You also have the nickel 3-3-5, which is one of the better sets in the entire game as far as versatility goes, in my opinion, in the Ravens defensive playbook as well. So I believe for those reasons it's the best 3-4 playbook in the game. You can play 4-3 looks at a 3-4 personnel, and you have your even, your odd, your bear, and nickel sub packages like the 3-3-5 and the 3-3-5Y, which gives you versatility for spread, as well as the 2-3-6 Will, which gives you some creative formation sub options as well. The Bucks and the Cowboys, they're on the honorable mention list. Both Tampa 2 style defensive playbooks, but not quite as good as the Cover 2 playbook, in my opinion. So I left them off of the top five. Coming at number 4, the Panthers. Really liked the Panthers defensive playbook. You have a lot of cover 4 looks from your default cover 4 press, cover 4 show 6 disguises, which makes sense because the Panthers play a lot of quarters coverage. And they also have cover 3 press looks, as well as a 5-2 package, which I really like as far as loading up on the run. And they also have a nickel 4 defensive end set to go along with the double A gap and the nickel normal. And also they have a 1-4-6 big dime set if you have a versatile strong safety that can line up close to the line of scrimmage, and he can cover tight end or slot receivers in man and zone. He can play the short hook zones, the flat zone areas, and you have your backup strong safety playing your normal deep zones. So pretty well put together playbook. It really captures the way the Carolina Panthers like to play defense better than I thought it would. I was very surprised by that playbook. Number 3 is basically three playbooks which are pretty much virtually identical: the Jags, the Seahawks, and the Atlanta Falcons. Virtually the same playbook. The only difference is that the Jags have the 4-6 normal set. The Seahawks and the Falcons, they have the 4-6. I want to say it's bear under. It's either 4-6 bear or bear under. Let me take a quick little peek right now, actually. Yeah, it's a bear under. But other than that, they're identical. It's that Pete Carroll 4-3 base, cover 3 press style. It would actually be the Jags defensive playbook would actually probably be my favorite playbook in the game if cover 3 press, single high cover 3 press versus spread didn't scare me half to death for obvious reasons. Unless you're a really, really good user on those hook seams, it's going to be 4 verts heaven. And plus, there's no real press leverage on the outside, so it's a track meet to the outside. So either you have to have really, really high zone coverage over the spec catch rating of the outside wide receiver, and the outside corners really have to be able to run since they don't try to leverage the receiver toward the sideline. I also like the 4-6 normal over the 4-6 bear because it has both the cover 3 and the cover 2 invert. The 4-6 bear under does not only has a cover 3, it doesn't have a cover 2. You'd have to, if you're playing online CFM, you'd have to add it. But for MUT and draft champions, you can't do that, so I think you're at a bit of a disadvantage as far as that's concerned. Number 2 is my trusty cover 2 playbook. It's been around forever. It hasn't really changed all that much and doesn't really need to. It's a great defensive playbook, in my opinion. It's got some unique cover 2 blitzes that the other 4-3 playbooks don't have. Even the cover 2 style playbooks, like the Bucks and the Cowboys, for example. It's got the dime flat set, which all that really does is put your safeties a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage to get them better involved in the run game, and also it doesn't give the receivers as much space underneath in those third and fourth and medium type of areas. And also it has nickel strong. Nickel strong is a great set, and it's actually one of the few sets in the entire game that has a couple of defensive plays where the interior defensive tackles actually twist stunt. The nickel strong cover 3 has an interior twist stunt by the defensive tackles, which actually works. And it also has a cover 6 that has some unique drops, as well as some zone blitzes out of those looks as well. And my favorite playbook for this year, my favorite defensive playbook for Madden 16 has been the Bengals. Great defensive playbook. Basically, the Bengals defensive playbook combines most of the elements of the playbooks I just described with very few omissions. It's got 4-6 normals. It has all of the 4-3 sets. It has the nickel wide 9. It has the 3-3-5 nickel, which is a very versatile set. Probably one of the most versatile sets in the game. And it also has on top of that the 3-3-5 nickel wide 9, which is one of the only default sets, probably the only default sets stock, which has your strong side outside linebacker in a position to play man press versus a slot receiver or a split out tight end. He's even in a decent position to cover a inline tight end without losing ground to bad alignment or false steps. If you have a guy like Thomas Davis, plug him in that spot, he can chip and jam a tight end. If he's in a slot, he can even be able to run with or jam a slot receiver if it's a 4-wide set. So it's a very versatile set if you have good athletic linebackers, and it gives you a lot of answers for pretty much any situation. You still have your standard 4-man defensive line dime sets, as well as your nickel normal, your double A gap, plus the 3-3-5 nickel and the 3-3-5 nickel wide, plus your standard quarters and quarters 3 deep. Really good defensive playbook, which offers a lot of versatility. You can play cover four press, cover three press. You can play Tampa 2 out of it. You can play aggressive. You can do all kinds of things. So those have been my favorite defensive playbooks for Madden 16. Love to hear your guys' thoughts and what some of your favorites have been. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you all later. Peace.